Good morning, everyone. There's something I've learned in the quietest, most painful moments of life. Pain does not come to break us. It comes to build us. We live in a world that often tells us to hide our pain, to smile through it, to move on quickly. But I want to tell you today, don't hide from your pain. Honor it, sit with it, learn from it. Because the pain you feel today is not a punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you into someone you were always meant to become. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been at a point where everything seemed too heavy to carry? Where every breath felt like a burden? If you've been there, you're not weak, you're human. And that place, that rock bottom, it doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're being rebuilt. You see, strength is not born out of comfort. It is forged in fire in the nights we cry ourselves to sleep, in the disappointments that leave us breathless, in the battles that feel endless. Every scar, every setback, is your body and soul learning how to rise. There was a time in my life when I thought pain would define me, but it didn't. It refined me. It turned my wounds into wisdom. And now, when I look at those dark days, I don't see weakness. I see proof that I survived, that I fought, that I'm still standing. So, if you're hurting right now, don't rush your healing. Your story is still being written. One day, this pain will not just be a memory, it will be your motivation. One day, someone will look at your strength and not know what you've been through to earn it. And that will be your quiet victory. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are becoming. And the strength you need tomorrow is already being built today in the tears, in the courage, in the will to keep going. Pain often arrives uninvited, knocking the breath out of us and bringing life to a standstill. It comes in many forms: loss, rejection, failure, disappointment, and no matter the shape it takes, it leaves a mark. But within that discomfort lies something far deeper than just suffering. Pain has the ability to teach us lessons that comfort never could. It shows us the parts of ourselves we never knew existed, the courage we didn't realize we had, the depth of our endurance, and the raw truth of our emotions. While joy may fill us, it is pain that transforms us. When we are in pain, everything else is stripped. A wire masks our pride, our need to impress. What remains is our truest self. That is when real learning begins. Pain demands that we slow down and listen. It teaches us to reflect, to reconsider our choices, and to recognize what truly matters. Often, it is in those darkest hours that we become most honest with ourselves. We discover what we're holding on to and what we need to release. Pain forces growth not because we want it, but because we have no choice but to evolve. Pain also teaches empathy in a way nothing else can. Once we've suffered, we see the world differently. We begin to recognize the silent battles others are fighting. We speak more kindly, love more deeply, and judge less harshly. Our pain becomes a bridge to others, a way of understanding them beyond words. It reminds us that everyone carries invisible weights, and that simple compassion can be a healing force. What once felt like isolation becomes a source of connection with others who have walked through their own storms. And perhaps the greatest lesson pain teaches us is that we can survive it. Every time we think, I can't do this, and still wake up the next day, we prove ourselves wrong. Pain pushes our limits and then redraws them. It does not just test our resilience, it expands it. It reveals that strength was within us all along, waiting to be awakened. And in that awakening, we find not just lessons, but liberation. Strength is often misunderstood. We look at people who seem unshakable and think they were simply born that way, as if courage and resilience were gifts granted at birth. But the truth is, no one is born strong. Strength is built slowly and painfully through every struggle, every fall, every moment we choose to rise again. It's not a trait we inherit, it's a muscle we develop. And like any muscle, it only grows when it's stretched, tested, and sometimes torn. Every challenge we face gives us a choice, to surrender or to endure. And each time we choose to endure, even if we do it trembling, we lay another brick in the foundation of our strength. It doesn't happen overnight. Real strength comes quietly, in the moments no one sees, in the nights we cry ourselves to sleep but wake up anyway, in the times we feel like giving up but keep going, step by step. Those moments don't always feel heroic, but they are. They're where true strength is born, not in loud victories, but in silent perseverance. Strength also grows through failure. It is easy to feel confident when everything is going our way, but true strength reveals itself when nothing does. When the doors close, when we hear no more times than we can count, when plans fall apart, that's when our inner warrior is trained. It's not about never falling. It's about what we do each time we fall. Do we get back up? Do we try again? Even when hope feels distant. Each time we do, we carve resilience into our character. And we must remember that building strength isn't about becoming hard or emotionless. On the contrary, some of the strongest people are also the most sensitive. They've just learned how to turn their pain into power. Strength doesn't mean we don't feel fear. It means we face fear despite the shaking in our bones. It means showing up even when we're uncertain. It means choosing growth over comfort again and again. Strength is not something we wait to receive. It's something we become through effort, through experience, and most of all, through endurance. We live in a world that often glorifies perfection and hides the truth. We're taught to conceal our scars, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, as if they are something to be ashamed of. But I believe the opposite is true. Your scars are not shameful. They are sacred. They are not signs of weakness, but symbols of everything you've survived. Each scar tells a story, not of defeat, but of endurance. They are proof that the wound once existed, and more importantly, that it healed. There is something profoundly beautiful about people who wear their scars with pride. These are the individuals who have faced storms, been broken, and yet chose to rise. They carry their pain not as baggage, but as badges of honor, because behind every scar is a moment of bravery and act of survival, a choice to keep going when it would have been easier to give up. And when we stop hiding our scars, we allow others to stop hiding theirs. We remind them that broken does not mean worthless, it means human. Scars connect us. They tell us that we're not alone in our pain. Sometimes we look at others and think they've had it easy because they smile so effortlessly. But if we look closer, we often find that behind that smile is someone who has been through fire and come out stronger. Scars are a language of their own, speaking of resilience, growth, and transformation. They are not the end of the story, they are the turning point. The moment when survival became strength. And most importantly, your scars do not define your limits, they define your journey. You are not less because of what you've endured, you are more. More aware, more compassionate, more alive. The world doesn't need more perfection. It needs more truth. So let your scars show. Let them speak. Because in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. You remind them that healing is not about erasing the wound, it's about honoring the fight it took to heal. It's easy to feel like the pain we're going through today is meaningless, that it's just chaos without a cause or a purpose. But the truth is, every battle you're fighting today is quietly shaping your future. Every tear, every heartbreak, every sleepless night, it's not just something to survive. It's something that's preparing you. The strength, wisdom, and clarity you will need tomorrow are being built through the fire you are walking through today. It may not look like progress, but every step you take through difficulty is constructing the foundation of your resilience. The hardest moments often feel like detours, like life has knocked us off course. But what if those moments are the course? What if the very things we're trying to escape are actually the experiences we need to grow into the person we're meant to be? It's not comfortable, and it's certainly not easy, but growth never is. Growth happens when we're challenged, when we're stretched, and when we're forced to face ourselves. Every challenge, no matter how painful, carries within it the seeds of a stronger future. Sometimes the greatest parts of our lives are born out of the darkest parts of our story. That failed dream, it might be making room for a better one. That loss you didn't think you could survive, it could be the very thing that awakens your purpose. Life has a strange way of turning our struggles into stepping stones. And the irony is, when we finally reach a place of peace or success, we often look back and realize it was the battles that gave us the tools to get there. They taught us endurance, faith, humility, and grit. So if you're in the midst of a storm right now, know this: you are not standing still, you are building. You are laying the bricks of a future that is rooted in strength, empathy, and experience. The you of tomorrow will look back and thank you for not giving up, for enduring when it was hard, and for trusting that today's pain was not in vain. You are not just surviving your present, you are shaping your future. So if you take just one thing with you today, let it be this: what hurts now is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your becoming. The pain you feel today is not pointless. It is the very soil in which your strength is growing, quietly, patiently, day by day. You are not weak for feeling broken. You are not lost because you're in the dark. You are in the process of becoming someone unshakable, someone who has felt pain and turned it into power. One day, you will look back at this moment not with regret, but with pride. Not because it was easy, but because you made it through. Let your pain be your teacher, your scars be your strength, your battles be your building blocks. And as you rise knowing this: you are stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and becoming more than you ever imagined. Thank you.